From your vantage point, what happened on the flagrant with Pachulia at the end of the first half?
I don't know. He hit me on the heart. Sorry, I'm going to get his ass back. Straight up.
Did you notice him standing over the top of you?
No, I didn't see that till just now, but I don't play that game. I'm going to get his ass back. So, whatever that is, I don't know what it's going to be, but I don't play that game.
Are you and KD on speaking terms?
No.
You guys had a little exchange in the third quarter.
What exchange?
You and KD said something. So.
When you sit closer to the game, you may see clearly.
Royce Young, who knows the Thunder as well as anybody covers them for us here at ESPN, joins us. And Royce, when Westbrook says I'm going to get him back, I take him at face value. You're in that locker room, but it could be seen as reckless. But when he says that to you, what does that mean? How do you think that Russell will attempt to exact some sort of payback?
Well, Scott, I think if we've learned something about Russell Westbrook, it's that he tends to hold a grudge. So, he definitely is going to file that one away in the memory bank. And the Warriors return, or they come to Oklahoma City February 11th. I don't know what Westbrook's going to do, and he even kind of alluded to it there. He doesn't know what he's going to do, if it's a hard foul, if he's just going to try to dunk on him, or what it might be. But like Westbrook said there, he was unaware that Zaza Pachulia actually stood over the top of him until he got in the locker room and his teammates showed him that. So, there was nothing that happened in the second half following that incident. No Thunder player went up to Pachulia, tried to take a hard foul on him or anything in that regard. But whatever Westbrook's got in mind, I guess we'll just have to wait a little less than a month and find out.
But I take him at his word. I'm sure he will do something to at least exact whatever revenge you can on a basketball court. As for this whole Durant-Westbrook ongoing, they don't speak, blah, 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 it's clear this matters a lot to Durant. They played twice. He scored 79 points. And this just isn't ever going to be right, is it?
It's not. No, I mean, it's a breakup of the highest magnitude here. I mean, these guys spent 8 incredible seasons together. There was so much made, Scott, about their relationship both on and off the court. I mean, rewind to what it was like in 2011 when everybody's talking about and counting shots. Westbrook took 24 shots, Durant took 22 shots. What does that mean? And those guys fought through that. They built the bond. I know both guys pretty well, and I know the guys that are around them pretty well. And everybody will tell you that they were true friends, and they built a strong bond together. Now, they weren't best buddies. They weren't going to see movies on the road or anything like that, but they did have a high level of respect for each other. And Westbrook desperately, obviously, wanted Durant to come back. They had a meeting out in Los Angeles during that whole recruiting thing. And Westbrook, as I was told, really kind of put his heart out there, really tried to sell Durant hard, opened up in a way that Russell Westbrook typically doesn't do. And then Durant left. And so that's just something that's just not going to heal, especially on Russell Westbrook's end. I think Durant's a little more apt to probably get over it than Westbrook, just in the sense of Durant's the guy that left. He moved on. He found new teammates. He made the choice. Westbrook's the dumpy here. He's the one that got left, and I think he's having a hard time moving past that.
Royce, February 11th. I'm sure you'll be in the building. Everybody else can watch it on ABC. Thanks, as always, for taking the time. Be well.
You bet.
It's unreasonable if you are Golden State to be expected 82 times to bring your very best, because you are a big game for every team. Not every team, all due respect, is a big game to you. But this week, playing Cleveland on Monday, playing Oklahoma City and Kevin Durant's former team on Wednesday, and then Houston on Friday, these are games that are going to get your attention. They're measuring stick games at the halfway point of the season. See where you are. Golden State's just fine. Kevin Durant clearly has been motivated when he's played his former teammate. He had 39 the first time they met. That was a season high. He did one better on Wednesday. Durant to the rim, finishes strong. Then Durant from Ian Clark. Then off the turnover, Durant handle, surveys the situation. I will stop and pull all 3 of these. Durant had 20 points on 7 of 9 shooting in the first half. Final seconds of the half. Russell, Zaza Pachulia. He goes down hard, then Zaza stands over him, and
he does.
That will get back to Westbrook. And the elbow's high, the hand gets the face. Russell sells it, but that's a hard foul, and a flagrant one would be assessed. We're tied at 56 at the half. Midway through the third. Good game, tie game. Durant.
Bingo.
Then we segue to this because I don't even know what to say.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Russell just loses his mind. As everyone said on Twitter, and this is the guy, check ball. he just starts walking with the ball and took 5 steps. But everything the man does is entertaining, including that no one's ever been more angry at rims around the globe than Russell. He punishes it there. 27 points, 15 rebounds, 13 assists, 10 turnovers. You see that little moment there where it looked like KD's like, what's up? And then Russell ignored him, and you can't ignore that. Durant, the thin man, goes up, and this is when the avalanche begins. This is when Golden State just dump trucks you, and a close game becomes a 20-point game. And then Durant, sure, why not? More. His 47th 40-point game. The Warriors win by 21. KD after the game with J.A. Adande.
Kevin Durant, a season-high 40 points. Your second highest scoring game of 39 was also against your former team. That can't be a coincidence, can it?
I just came out and played, prepared the same way I've been preparing all season. And my teammates did a great job of setting screens for me and, give me the ball in good positions. I tried to finish.
You've avoided making it about you versus Russell Westbrook. Yet in the third quarter, you two guys took center stage. What set that off?
I don't even remember. I remember our team had a great third quarter. We moved the ball. We got stops. That's all that matters.
A lot of people have taken note of your defense this year, saying it's some of the best you've played in your career. What's led to that?
I feel like I've always been a defender, but I'm getting more experience. Playing a little bit of the four, so I got to guard multiple positions and just trying to play as hard as I can.
Really don't remember that back and forth with Westbrook? That's pretty fun stuff.
No, I was locked in the game. We had a good run as a team and got a lead and was able to cruise on from there.
Thanks a lot, Kevin.
We'll hear from Draymond and Green coming up in a bit on SportsCenter. Back to that hard foul where Zaza knocks him down, but then dudes do not like when you stand over them in sports. It's that whole, it's just a lot of stuff going on. A 21-point victory for Golden State as Kevin Durant goes for 40. Afterwards, the MVP, Steph Curry, with his thoughts on yet another, they seemingly are routine, but they're anything but, 21-point win.
I guess these games are always going to be pretty big for Durant. Did you guys know? I mean, you've had the first game with him against OKC, but that's still pretty important for him to have a big game against his team.
Yeah, I mean, it's still kind of fresh, but you can't deny, I guess, the history, obviously, of him with OKC, and obviously we turn the page, and when we face them, it's one of those games. The intensity is high, and at all costs we want to get the win. So it was a good night.
Joined now on SportsCenter by Draymond Green. And Draymond, you got those headphones on. That has my logo on. This is the first time I've seen that. That's kind of nice. I kind of like those. Are they comfy?
Yeah, they are comfortable, man. You're big time. You got your own headphones.
Yeah.
I'm just happy to be a part of the show. Thanks for having me.
I couldn't make that little commercial with Levy and Bucci Grass, so I'm just happy to have you here with me tonight. The victory, and I just said it, you guys make it feel routine. I mean, it's 36-6 again, and Steve talked about this recently, about trying to appreciate it. Are you all numb to the success that you guys have made feel so ordinary?
You're not numb to it. Obviously, there can be times where it kind of goes underappreciated by us, and you just, sometimes you can take winning for granted. But that's one thing that we always try to talk about, is not taking winning for granted, giving a great effort each and every night.
Right.
And, sometimes it's usually when the wins don't happen the way you want them to happen. You kind of take it for granted. And we just talk about, man, appreciate that. A win is a win in the NBA.
Now, this is not meant to be disrespectful to anyone you play, but I said earlier in the show that when you play Cleveland, when you play OKC, when you play Houston, as you do on Friday, I think it's reasonable to understand that for you guys, it is a big deal that's going to have every bit of your focus and energy. But you couldn't do that for 82 games. Is that a fair way to describe it?
I think that's definitely a fair way to decide. And like you said, it's no disrespect to anyone else, but at the end of the day, there is 82 games, and there are games that you're going to get up for more than others. And, I mean, that's just the nature of basketball, but that doesn't just happen here in the NBA. It happens when you're in elementary and you only got 12 games. It happens when you're in middle school, when you're in high school, and definitely in college. So I think that's just the nature of the sport that we're in.
I think it happens in life. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, there's days you come in here, you try to do the best show you can, but not every show is going to be as good as a show that you know is a big deal. And obviously for tonight, for Kevin, it's a big deal. And this, I'm not worried about any beef between anybody, but I mean, he goes off tonight for 40. Do you guys get a sense of what the game means to him without him saying anything?
Absolutely. He doesn't have to say much. We know what this game means for him. We know as a competitor, you want to beat your own team. You want to beat the guys you play with. You know, even with all the scrutiny that he's taken with leaving OKC, definitely don't want to lose to him, and you got to hear all those things again. So, you know, we understand what it means for him, and we definitely don't want to let him down as his teammates.
You continue to lead this squad in assists, but I wonder, are you more proud of what you do on the defensive end, your versatility there? What do you feel most proud of that you contribute on a nightly basis?
Always the defensive end. I think, you know, it takes defense to win games, to win championships. So I enjoy playing that end of the floor, trying to stop the other team. You know, I always say, man, anybody can go score a basket, you know, but it takes a lot of heart and will, determination to go play on the defensive end, so I take pride in that.
Last thing, I had a chance to visit with Steve Kerr yesterday here on the show, and obviously we were curious about how everything would fit together. You add a superstar, but you already had a bunch of them, and so now this is the first game of the second half, your 42nd game. Where do you all feel like your team is as you evolve into whatever you're going to be?
I think we're getting better each and every night, you know, and that's the most important thing for us. It's not really about the record. It's about getting better each and every time we step on this floor. And I think we've been doing that as of late. We got to continue to do that. If we want to, you know, reach the end goal, which is try to win a championship, you got to get better every time you step on this floor and embrace the process leading up to it.
I know you got places to go and people to see. I appreciate you spending a few minutes with me. It's good to visit again. Stay healthy until next time, okay?
All right, thanks for having me.
You got it. If we're nitpicking, if we're taking out a magnifying glass to find something not to like or to love, is that what you look at? Maybe just not having as deep a rotation theoretically?
Oh, I would say two things. I would say their rotation not being as deep, and also rim protection. I'm seeing teams this year, night in and night out, score a lot of paint points on this team. KD talked about it in his interview. He's playing the 4 a lot of times. He has the length, but he doesn't have the girth. He doesn't have the strength a lot of times to be able to bang with a lot of these 4 and 5 men. But, you know, they finish off the games with KD at the 4 and Draymond at the 5 a lot of nights. So he has to get used to that. And he's actually done a very good job of protecting the rim for this team, but they need more.
San Antonio hasn't gone anywhere for decades, so I'm not overlooking them, but I am curious what you think of Houston. They play on Friday. Can the Rockets be a true threat to Golden State or anybody else in the West as we progress throughout this season?
Well, I've been very impressed with the Rockets, and they are a threat. They absolutely are a threat. I mean, they have James Harden, who's playing on an unbelievably high level. They're a threat to anybody. The thing that concerns me with them is when the 3 ball is not going, can they get enough stops defensively to be able to win games on the defensive end of the floor? I haven't seen them do that this season, but if that 3 ball's hot and James Harden is playing well, they can beat anybody. They're a threat to anybody.
Chauncey, thanks for the time. Always good to be with you, man.
Thanks, Scott.
Much more on the Golden State game coming up in a bit.